Hello everyone, welcome. And yes, I'm on the dark now. Do you see my new hair? I just braided my hair yesterday to celebrate my new adventure. I'm in a little different place in Mexico, little no, Playa del Carmen, and I did want to feel like a warrior. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm really good today. I'm not coming from you of anywhere as exciting as Mexico, but from Nottingham in the UK, and we're
Oh.
just starting to see the first sort of vestiges of spring. It's in that in-between bit where one minute it's cloudy, next minute it's sunny, next minute it's cold, next minute it's rainy. Yeah, it can't make up its mind at the moment, so.
I love always to ask my guests to present themselves and tell what they do, their name. So please be my guest.
Oh, thank you. My name is Esme Knight. I'm a multi-passionate creatrix, which means that I do many things, and for many years was always concerned with I have to pick one. And actually, no, I don't have to pick one. So primarily I'm a musician and an artist, but
I'm a
I'm also,
DJ.
you're a DJ. Awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I'm also a shaman and an author and a fire performer and a speaker and a designer and a coach and a photographer. So all of these kind of creative things that have always inspired me throughout my life, constantly in my youth been told to pick one or the other and find one path and stick to it. In recent years, as I've matured, I don't have to play by anybody's rules. I love all of these things and they're all equally as an important part of me. But I think if I'm going to say anything, I'm a storyteller. I like to tell stories and engage with people emotionally and yes, use different mediums, different creative aspects, whether that be music or the written word, um, or a painting or a photograph that says something that speaks to people. I think that's mostly what I identify as a storyteller. Um, yeah, just getting people to connect. I love metaphor and folk tales and things like that. That
What is it? Oh,
bring.
folk tales is like old tales.
Yeah, so like the big one for me is the story of Red Riding Hood.
Uh,
And we see this as almost like a children's tale where this little girl fills up her basket with goodies and goes to grandma's house and has to go through this wood and is warned by her mother not to speak to strangers. And the wolf is following her. And halfway through the day, she has this picnic with a woodcutter and then continues her journey. And when she gets there, the wolf is at grandma's house. And we all know how that ends. But
mhm.
really, when you look at this story, it's actually much older than that. And it was a story meant for women, told by women to younger women, and basically to explain what was happening to their changing bodies at puberty and adolescence and the beginning of their period of menstruation. It's a tale that says how to walk through the world as you grow to be a woman, and as you develop and become sort of you have a sexual awakening, how people will come sniffing around and how to retain your autonomy. So yes, there's a lot of very interesting themes, and I could get very deep into it, but I do have some stuff on my own channel, so if people are interested, they can
Oh,
always
we well, we will ask for all your channels in
Oh yeah, yeah. My most
or
recent music video is based on Red Riding Hood, so yeah, it's all a bit.
super interesting. I never did like if you think well, our grandmas, our grandmas, they are all doing magic in some way. They all did know herbs. They all did know. Uh, after the Catholic Church went to chase witches, I think we all became traumatized with that.
Yes.
Um, I feel each day more empowered as a healer, each day more empowered as a witch. each day more empowered in the ability of reading and getting downloads of information about something what is in front of me, in special when I work with my clients. And it's funny because I work normally about influence, and I help them setting up offers and going up level their money beliefs. It is really interesting how I found that then that is kind of my shield, because when I start doing tapping and I start bringing tapping in, each time more I have more people who wants to be healed and wants to have one-to-ones with me. So do you think then we, at this moment, we Creatrix are bringing back our original powers?
Very much so, very much so. And one thing that I focus on is reaching out to mature women. So women who like, I feel like there's an invisible army of 40 plus women who have
Present.
present, who have they've sort of, and of course I'm speaking generally here, and once they have passed their usefulness to society, they no longer have youth or beauty, adhere to beauty standards, or their body shape, their gray hair. This our world, our society looks through the male gaze. It's geared up for a patriarchal system, which is something that's been happening for hundreds of years. And so once women are no longer considered young or beautiful, ergo manipulative or impressionable, and they get to a certain age where they know their own mind, they will speak out. They have wisdom and experience, and they will tell a man exactly what they think. Just because human beings have the right to express themselves. But unfortunately, what we see is women of our age making themselves smaller, making themselves quiet.
When it's time to make the opposite, when
Exactly.
it's time.
This is where my passion lies, in reaching out to these women and saying, your wisdom and your experience is valuable, so valuable. Think of the elders of, when you think of a tribe, you think the elders of the tribe. These are the people who are revered, who have the sacred knowledge, who remember the stories from before, who can teach the younger generations. And it's like we've lost that. Our society puts so much focus on celebrity and youth and look, beauty standards that look a certain way. You have to have a certain body shape or whatever. Even, in terms of skin color, we see people of color who are lightening their skin in order to fit in, and we see white people who are darkening their skin in order to appropriate culture. And it's so messed up. Really, we should be looking to the elders of our society and saying, hang on, you guys have got some wisdom, especially the women, because we sit back and we watch and we learn, and we are the ones in the back. We are the caretakers, we are the nurturers, we are the people that are, not necessarily at the front waving a flag. We're the ones at the back going, oh, I know how this is going to end, and it's that wisdom, that kind of claircognizance, if you like. You see a situation, you instinctively know what's going on and how, how something's going to play out. And I think that needs to come back. And that's really where I think where my passion lies, is reaching out to those women and bringing that wisdom of the crone, if you like, and bringing that back and shining a light on how important it is.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think as well, then is movement. I I have been talking about this. It's not for any reason that I'm doing this podcast. It's not for any reason that I'm reaching to people as you. It's not for any reason then is really important then because with the 40s comes who don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Right? And it's time. You don't want to go out and find about magic and powers and all the layers of healing and whatever. I think even the lack of correct words to describe what we do makes us scared, because I don't want to be a witch, because a witch is a bad thing.
Exactly.
But in reality, I am a healer. I am a person with the capacity to put my hands on you and take pain away. And nobody teach me that. I was always able to do, but then I was scared. I was, oh, what people will think about me. And now at this moment, like, I hope people enjoy the ones that I allowed that to happen, right? So, what kind of offers, since you do so many things, what kind of offers can people reach out to you?
Well, I tend to I have like sort of two main branches, if you like. I have the performance side of me, which is the storytelling, like whether that be education or whether I'm a speaker. I will go appear at events and we'll talk about everything from actual magical practices, as in sort of giving practical knowledge and teaching at that point, or perhaps talking about the historical and cultural implications of how witchcraft is, like you say, been demonized over the centuries. And then I have the services that I offer, which is I'm a coach and a shaman. So I'm a shamanic witch. So I take
How do you become a shamanic witch? I want that as well.
well, I think it's in the practice. The way I describe it is, if you think of high magic and low magic being the very ritualized, very things like Wicca or the Hermetic Orders or the Golden Dawn, things that have a very strict regimen. Low magic is something that's very free, solitaire, hedge witchery, healers, people who are very much doing it on their own, if you like.
Basic,
They
so
feel it.
you can craft a spell based on the downloads that you get instead of following the rules of Wicca or
Yes.
any other ones. Okay.
Exactly. So if you think of it this way, shamanic practice usually taps into our bodies, our very physical existence. So very similar, like you do with the tapping. I teach forms of body movement, which sometimes I do say dance, but sometimes the word dance can frighten people because they go, I'm not a dancer. I can't dance. I was like, you have a body. You can dance.
You can
Yeah,
move it.
exactly. Just moving your body. So some of the workshops that I do, when we're allowed to be in person, obviously the last couple of years has been strange, but we like to get the drums going. We like to use our voices. We use our bodies, exactly, and we stretch and we move and we see where the rhythm takes us.
We expand, right?
Yeah.
Do
And
you know?
you can do so much once you get your body moving. You can tap into all sorts of things. You can tap into your trauma, you can tap into joy, you can tap into grief, you can tap into memories. Once you start, we hold so much pain and tension in our bodies that once you start moving that, you can, almost like some form of exorcism, you can purge that from out of your body with this movement. So
It's funny, it's
shamanic,
connected with tapping. Tapping have that ability as well. And do you know what is a Temescal?
a Temescal?
Yes.
No,
So
I've not heard
Temescal
that.
is a ritual that we have here on Mexico. You get inside, best way to explain to you, you get inside like, it looks like a igloo shape.
Oh, you mean like a lodge? Kind of
Yes.
like,
With
yeah, like
heat, with stones and heat. It's like a sauna. And
yes,
they
I do
keep,
know this. I didn't know the word for it, but yes, I know exactly
yes.
what you mean.
So,
Yeah.
so they keep bringing stones, what they call abuelas, which means grandmas,
Grandma, yeah.
and they bring them in, and you sweat, and the shaman or the shaman woman is going to be singing some songs, and it's beautiful because you feel the sound coming out of you.
Yes.
And it was one of the most, I remember that I was with someone that was really used to do it, and I was really scared to not handle, and he could not handle, but I was there until the end. I was feeling like a warrior. And I remember, normally I always tie up my hair, and I remember to say, no, my hair is going to be down. I need this. And
Yeah.
it's all that, kind of a trance feeling where the body is sweating, and you say and you keep going, and each one do a sound. And it was one amazing experience for my life. Amazing.
Yes, yes. I've had the fortune to do a few of these lodges, as we would call them, here. And I also had the opportunity and privilege to train with Juan Anichi and be part of one of his lodges. And he does 3 sessions throughout the day. And then at the very end, he does what he calls the Thunderbird Lodge, which is a very intense ritual. So those who, I think, he sort of says, if you have to have done a few before you do this, you can't just go in sort of blind and do the Thunderbird Lodge with that. So he says, yeah, if you guys are ready, come. And again, it's that very intense experience where he gets you to stand at certain points and sit at certain points and lay down. And what that does is obviously changes the oxygen levels in your body as you do different things as they're bringing in the stones. And again, there's chanting and there's drumming and a lot of quiet time, a lot of just silence and community, just sitting in this space with other people and being, and that in itself is really a beautiful thing, just to look around the space and see other people's faces in the in the glow of the stones, and just be human, and have just shake off everything that is connected to the outside world and to our modern society and all of that, and just come back to what is essentially and very very beautifully human. That's also a lovely experience that that I've been able to partake in. Very special.
Very interesting. So, what is your wish for your future work? For the future work when you are...
My future work, well, as I said before, I want to reach this sort of invisible army of mature women and reach out to them and say,
I'm with you, sister. I'm with you.
hey,
I'm with
yeah,
you.
reach out and say you have a voice, use it. I want to use my privilege as a platform to raise other people's voices. I want to use the experience that I've had for actually for 10 years here in the UK. I ran a festival called the Pagan Pride UK Festival, where every year in August we would invite people to a free festival. We would put on entertainment, but we would also have venues with speakers and workshops educating people about what modern witchcraft is and modern paganism is, and the fact that the word witch has so many negative connotations to it. We were hoping to erase those misconceptions. So off the back of that, I've had a few years sabbatical because of my own health, and sometimes I think it's good to have that quiet time to reflect and grow and go through the change yourself. And then when you come out and say, well, I've been there, I've done that, I'm speaking from experience, I'm not just read it in a book and I'm regurgitating something that I've heard, my own experiences. So the deeper courses that I run are based on what I call dragon spirituality. Now, the dragon concept is an ancient concept, the idea of a chimeric mythical beast that is power and excellence and wisdom, and so from taking that totem and looking deep into the shamanic cultures from all around the world, I've kind of pulled together the essence of all of them. And now I'm in a position where I'm able to offer that kind of teaching to women of our age. I think if you are younger, you don't process it in the same
You're
way.
not ready.
Yeah, you're not ready. So it's definitely, like you say, an up leveling. It's not a beginner's course. It's not for people who have just stepped into the world of magic or healing or any kind of craft. It's for people who are like, yeah, I've done all of that. I've lived my life. I've been through the books. I've I've done as much as I can with book learning, and now I'm ready to do something that is very deeply spiritual. And so that will be coming up shortly. But yes, the first bit, if you just want to sort of step into my world, the first thing that's going to be available is kind of a refresher course. It's sort of like a sort of 10 steps to spell crafting. And I use the word spell crafting rather than casting, because I think it's important to get in on the base level. I don't know whether you've seen or they have them where you are, but sometimes you walk into these shops and they have like pre-made boxes with all the things in them, and you're like, well, I'm not connected. I didn't go out and collect I didn't
I
go into
understand.
the place where I live.
I have a deeply wish to create something like that, but I think it's more, my vision is more for cleanse than for craft, because some people don't know where to start, and
They don't.
that is the reason why I believe then that is beautiful to have it like that, because on the end, all what counts is intention, right?
Exactly. And everything else is kind of theater, if you like. But that first, it's the process, and I think some people, they may have like lost touch with, or got out of practice. Maybe they've gone on, they've had families, they've gone to work, they've kind of adulted for a while and gone, hang on a minute, I've kind of lost who I am. I need to get back in touch. So the kind of introductory spellcrafting course is meant as I say, a refresher, meant for people to get back into it and go, oh yeah, I remember. Here is a very different way, and a very personal way to connect with nature. You will go out and you will collect things that the components that you need from your local environment, and collect them together, like, so with intent. And the idea, the sort of the project, if you like, is so that people can have a bit of control. We have felt in the last couple of years that there's lots of things that have been out of control. A lot of people's mental health has taken a dive. Yeah, me too. And I think this is why I realized it. It brought me back to my craft, just the simple little rituals that we can do every day, like setting up a lare, which is a house shrine or a house altar.
Well, okay. What is a polari?
A lare, L-A-R-E, lare. And it's Latin. It comes from, it's where the word lair comes from. Like we would say, a dragon lives in a lair, or, the lare, it means the place, the home. And it's a collection where you have the spirit of the place, so the very land on which your house sits, your location, the culture of this little spot, and also your ancestors, so the household gods, if you like, the local spirits, plus your family spirits, your family ancestors, those that watch over you or those that you reach out to, all have a place where you can focus to leave offerings, to talk to people, to light candles in remembrance.
I will always do incense. I travel a lot, and many times I'm in places where it's not my home, but I always bring my incense and my Palo Santo or my copal, and I always do it in my candles. Since very young in my life, when I had my first business, I used to buy a candle from Metatron. And I don't know, it was magic. Each time I put the candle, I always put the paper under with the amount of money I did want to make.
Yeah.
And my only question is why I stopped making that. Like,
exactly. People, we've gotten out of touch with so many things. And I think it's important to bring it back just to this base level where we can do small acts of affirmation, small acts of attraction, just to bring the things into our life that we've been missing.
Saying thank you to the house.
Exactly.
Everyone knows. Then if you get to a new house, and you can be new,
Yeah.
It will take a while for the energy of the house to receive you.
Exactly.
And as well, when it's time for you to go, the house is going to push you away.
Yeah. And what do we do when we move to a new place? Like you say, we cleanse the space. We put our own energy. We take out anything that
we
may have
bring
come before, that was
flowers.
left from the previous occupant, and we put our own energy into it. And the Lari can really help that. And that's like a first sort of, give yourself a space or a place of focus.
Oh, I have an altar for my money. I always have it, where I have like golden billets of dollars, and I have like a magic wand.
Yeah.
Then for money, and I have my
Hey, ring the
bell.
bell.
And I do something cool as well. I always have like a bowl with glitter and gold, like fake gold.
It's
And
like a sort of snowstorm kind of.
yeah, where I put all the coins, then I bring into the house, and I call it money magnet.
Yes. Yes. See, I also have a personal altar, which is more of a representation of who I am spiritually. But the Lari is separate. The Lari is for the house. It's for things coming in, and for people who visit, if they want to. It's yeah, they're separate. They have different purposes, and I think that is okay. You don't have to have just one space. But if you say this space is dedicated to this and this space is dedicated for that, it can, those small acts that bring in, or just affirm whatever it is that we are trying to achieve. If we set out our goals and we say them out loud, and we make a commitment to them, and they are there in whatever form, whether that's, when I was looking for a home several years ago, I carved myself a tiny little house out of a piece of wood and said, this is my home. And I painted it, and I was like, this is my home. And I put it, and I was like, and I'm going to find my home. And I did. I'm in my home now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the idea of visualizing it and committing to it. Your energy says, this is almost like this has already happened already. So all it needs to do is just work its way through, rather than, well, we know how positive affirmations work, but it's really connecting it with your body, with something physical in the real world, that when you are feeling, down about, so you can take that little physical thing that you have made, that you have crafted, and hold it in your hands and use it as a focus for your meditation, and you're putting energy into it all the time, and it retains the energy.
I think then I'm always saying this. Point one, take responsibility.
Yeah.
Take responsibility for your future, for your present, for your past.
Yeah.
And all these little things, they work, because what we focus on, our energy flows.
Yeah, if we constantly think about all of the negative stuff and things that we don't have, that's all we will see.
I have this ring I want to share to you. It's like, I think I'm going to start giving these rings to, this ring have a little star.
Oh, the moon and the star. I love that. I love that.
But that is not the first. This ring changed color with my moods.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yes, and I love it.
I haven't had one of those for years.
Yes, I know. I'm going to start sending this out to people.
That's a lovely little gift.
Yeah.
And again, it's something to, it's a physical thing that, like, I mean, here's something. The ring that I wear is my great grandmother's wedding ring. So it's over 100 years old. She was married in the 1920s. But by wearing it, it connects me to my family. It reminds me of who I am, where I've come from, and the legacy that I'm then responsible for, and like you said, responsibility and accountability is just as important as well, by saying, I'm going to do this. And you say to yourself, you make that promise to yourself. And when you craft these spells, these affirmations, these little commitments to yourself, when you craft them and you put them there and you say, here it is, that's accountability. It's a reminder to yourself and a reminder to the energy that you invoke and that surrounds you, that promise is there. It's going to hold you accountable. It's going to keep you mindful of what it is that you want and what you're trying to achieve.
Very interesting. I want you to share where people can find you.
Yeah, very simple. If you want to look at all of my socials, it's at Esme K Music.
Right?
Obviously, the music side of it is was what sort of happened first, if you like. So everything is still on the music stuff. If you want to listen to the storytelling, so that's Esme, Esme, K for night, and then music sort of is all one thing. So if you want to listen to the storytelling stuff and my arts, that's where you can find it. If you are more interested in the spiritual stuff, however, you can find me at Keep Me Forever Wild, and that's on Instagram and on Facebook.
Okay.
And also
I want to get
website.
in touch with you about your spells. I'm very curious to know when.
Yes, this will be yeah, well, I'm preparing it right now, so hopefully it will be out for in the next couple of months. There will be an opportunity for people to get back in touch with themselves and with the world around them, just through this very simple, very beautiful, very personal practice. And then hopefully that will open the door for some people to go, yeah, I remember, and their energy will remember, like coming home to themselves, and then they'll be able to take that next step and hopefully go deeper within themselves and discover something beautiful and reclaim their power.
Beautiful.
Reconnect, reclaim, reignite. That's what I say.
Reconnect, reclaim, reignite. Nice. If you could send a message to yourself 10 years on the past, to your younger self.
Well, not that much younger self.
What did you told?
What would I say to them? I would say, well, it's quite odd because when I was 34, I guess I had just, I'm trying to remember what I was doing. I know I was married. And I had a completely different life. And even though I enjoyed my life, I had no idea where I would be now. I had no concept of what I'm doing now. I was almost blind to it. So I guess I would just say, have faith, because the universe always pokes you in the right direction. And even if you go something, obviously the breakup of my marriage and my divorce was quite painful, but that was a little bit after. So it's like, well, just have faith, because the universe always comes around. And if you're not going in the right direction, it will give you a poke. And even though that poke might be quite painful, it's always good for you in the end. So there's lessons in disguise is what it is.
Nice. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
I'm going to invite you to get my game plan. It's like a roadmap. Is 1 hour of working with me where we can look into future offers and how to make more money and get more clients. I'm going to send that link, and you are going to send all the links to me if you don't mind, or by email.
I don't mind at all. That sounds great, because I'm at the beginning of this wanting to share. So yeah,
I will guide you. I will be your guide. I'll be the light in front who opens the way for you. Thank you so much for talking about magic as the first thing of my day, because for me it's 8 a.m. now. You are a beautiful soul. Thank you, Esme. It was beautiful. I hope you enjoy as much as me.
Oh, thank you, Rita. It's been a pleasure, and namaste to you.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much. Big kisses to everyone. Guys, keep an eye. Today is going to be a day full of magic, because I'm full of podcasts. Thank you so much, Esme. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
As always, speak again soon. Take care.
Take care. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.